Hello everyone. Today I am Hema Sati from Pratap World School is going to take this chapter called Nutrition in Animals for class 7th. First of all, let us know what are we going to study in this chapter. I have briefly divided the content into recap and introduction, digestion in humans, in which we will be studying about human digestive system, digestion in mouth, peristalsis, how digestion takes place in stomach, and how digestion takes place in small intestine. What is the role of liver? What is the role of liver and pancreas in the digestion, and what happens in the large intestine? Then we will study about digestion in grass-eating animals, feeding and digestion in a protozoa called amoeba. I have briefly summed up the whole content. I'll be taking it in 5 lectures. First lecture will be for recap and introduction to human digestive system. Second lecture I'll be conducting for digestion in mouth. Third for peristalsis and digestion in stomach. Fourth lecture we'll be studying about digestion in small intestine, liver, pancreas and large intestine. And in the last lecture we will be studying about the digestion in grass-eating animals and amoeba. So let us start from the recapitulation, that means revising what knowledge we have about the chapter. We all know and we all have studied in our lower classes also that all organisms, they need to take food. Why do they need to take food? They need to take food to obtain energy, to obtain materials so that they can grow, and they obtain materials so that they can repair the damaged part of the body. And what are the components of food? This also we know that components of food includes carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins, minerals, and these are called nutrients. So carbohydrate is a nutrient, protein is a nutrient, fat is a separate nutrient, and vitamins, minerals are also nutrients. Then we also know, and we have studied this in our previous class also, that modes of nutrition include, that means how an organism take food. It is divided into autotrophic mode of nutrition, that means the organism is creating or it is preparing its own food. Basically autotrophic mode of nutrition is in green plants, and they produce their own food by the process of photosynthesis using chlorophyll, carbon dioxide, water and sunlight. Next mode of nutrition is heterotrophic mode of nutrition, and in this mode of nutrition an organism is not able to produce its own food. That means it is dependent on plants and other animals for its nutrition requirements. Now heterotrophic mode of nutrition is basically, first it can be classified into holozoic nutrition. In this, the organism feed by ingesting a solid organic matter. The organism digests it and then absorb it in its body. For example, humans, animals and other insectivorous plants, they ingest solid organic matter, therefore nutrition in them is holozoic nutrition. Next type heterotrophic nutrition is saprophytic mode of nutrition, and the organism which use saprophytic mode of nutrition are called saprophytes. The saprophytes, they feed on dead and decaying matter. It includes bacteria and fungi. How do they digest the food? They digest the food externally. Even before the nutrients are taken inside the body. Here in holozoic nutrition, what we are doing, we are ingesting solid organic matter. Then we are digesting it and absorbing it. Here in saprophytes, what is happening? That it is digesting the food externally, then it is absorbing it inside the body. So this is the main difference between holozoic nutrition and saprophytic nutrition. Now this is parasitism. Parasitism includes the living organisms which obtain their nutrients by living on the body of host. That means they live on somebody some other living organism's body, and that living organism's body in which they are living is called host, and they derive, that means parasites derive their nutrients from the body of the host. Example, fleas, lice and tapeworms. Now we will study that what is the definition of nutrition for studying, because the name of the chapter is nutrition in animals. So for that we need to understand, or we need to know the definition of nutrition. So what is nutrition? Nutrition is the process in which we take food, that means the intake of food is there by an organism, and its digestion, absorption and utilization. That means nutrition includes intake of food, first thing, second digestion, third absorption and fourth is utilization. This is called nutrition. So what is nutrition? Nutrition is taking food by any organism and its digestion. Whose digestion? Food's digestion, absorption and utilization by the body. So this is the definition of nutrition. Let's see how digestion in humans takes place. This will be the process of digestion. The process of digestion consists of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many steps? 5 steps. So what are these steps? These steps are: first is ingestion, second digestion, absorption, assimilation and egestion. So what are we studying? We are studying process of digestion. That means how digestion takes place. So steps, the digestion, it's taking place stepwise. The first step is ingestion, and ingestion means taking in food. If we are eating food, that means we are ingesting the food. After ingesting the food in the body, digestion takes place. And now what is digestion? Digestion is breaking down of complex food substance what we are eating. Like we are eating starch, we are eating protein, we are eating fats. So these all protein, starch, fats, what are these? These are complex food substances. These cannot be absorbed in the bloodstream. So to facilitate its absorption, what do we need to do? We need to break down these complex food substances into soluble or simple food substances. Like as we all know, starch is a complex carbohydrate. So starch is broken down into glucose. When starch is broken down into glucose, then only it will be able to be absorbed by the blood. Similarly, protein is broken down into amino acids. Then only these amino acids will be able to be absorbed in the bloodstream for utilization by the body. So first step of digestion was ingestion. That means taking food inside the body. Second step was digestion, and digestion means breakdown of complex food substances to soluble food substances. Third step is absorption. Once the complex food substances are broken down into soluble food substances, these soluble food substances now will be absorbed in the bloodstream. So this digested food, what is this digested food? Digested food are the soluble food substances. That means simple food substances. Like if we have eaten starch, for example. So starch is broken down into glucose, and that glucose will be absorbed in the blood. If we have eaten protein, the protein will be broken down into amino acid by the process of digestion, and this amino acid will be absorbed in the bloodstream. Once absorption is done, assimilations happen. And now what assimilation is? Assimilation is transport and use of absorbed food by body cells. That means the food which is absorbed by the bloodstream will be transported. As we know that in our body everything is transported by blood. So now this soluble food substances are absorbed in blood. Now blood will transport these soluble substances to other body parts or body cells. Now after digestion, some of the food waste remains, which is not digested or which remains undigested. That undigested waste is need to be excreted out of the body. So this removal of undigested food is called egestion. Got my point? I'll repeat it. The process of digestion takes place in 5 steps. Which are these steps? Ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation and egestion. What does egestion mean? Egestion is taking the food inside the body. What digestion mean? Digestion is breakdown of complex food substances to soluble food substances. What does absorption mean? Absorption means that the digested food, simple soluble food substances are absorbed in the bloodstream. After absorption, assimilation takes place. And what is assimilation? Assimilation is transportation of the digested food by the blood and utilizing that absorbed food by the body cells. And what is egestion? Egestion is removal of undigested food, which is a waste, by the body. So this is the process of digestion. Now we'll take brief introduction to the human digestive system, like how the digestion takes place in a human body. So human digestive system consists of two things. First is alimentary canal, and it is the organ system in which food is moving. So human digestive system consists of alimentary canal and digestive glands. So what we can say? We can say human digestive system consists of alimentary canal and digestive glands. In this diagram, we all can see that human digestive system, how does it look like? So here we can see that we all know that we ingest food from mouth. So this is mouth, or it is also called buccal cavity. So mouth and buccal cavity, then food moves through esophagus. So this is esophagus. Then after moving from esophagus, it reaches to stomach. Now from stomach, after partially digesting, the food moves to small intestine. This is small intestine. After digestion in small intestine, the undigested food, it moves to large intestine. Then it is stored in rectum and it is excreted through anus. So we can see that in human digestive system, the part of alimentary canal are mouth or buccal cavity, esophagus, stomach, then small intestine, large intestine, rectum and anus. So what is this? This is alimentary canal, what I have explained right now. So in our previous slide, what we had studied that human digestive system consists of alimentary canal. So right now I told you about alimentary canals. Now I will tell you what are the digestive glands which are used for human digestive system. So first is liver, second is pancreas. You can see this is liver, this is pancreas, and third are salivary glands which are present in buccal cavity. Okay, salivary glands are the glands which produces saliva, and the saliva makes the absorption of the food or the digestion of the food easier. So what have we studied? We have studied that human digestive system consists of alimentary canal and digestive glands. The alimentary canal consists of mouth or buccal cavity, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, rectum and anus. And digestive gland consists of liver, pancreas and buccal cavity. So we can conclude that various organs in alimentary canal in a particular sequence are: first, mouth or buccal cavity; second, esophagus, which is also called food pipe; stomach, small intestine, large intestine, rectum and anus. So this is the sequence of alimentary canal which we had seen in our previous slide also. Mouth or buccal cavity, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, rectum and anus. See, next, what the glands which are associated with human digestive system. So the glands which are associated with human digestive system are salivary glands, that I told you earlier also, that salivary glands are located in mouth or buccal cavity. And what does it secrete? It secretes saliva. Liver is the largest gland of the human body. And where is it situated? It is situated in the upper part of abdomen on the right side. This we can see in our previous slide, that this is liver. So this is situated in upper abdomen. This is upper abdomen and in the right side. So liver is situated in upper right of the abdomen. Okay, now which is the next gland? Next gland is pancreas. And where is it situated? It is situated below the stomach and on the left side. And salivary glands are situated in buccal cavity. So salivary glands are located in mouth or buccal cavity. Liver is the largest gland and it is situated in upper part of the abdomen on right side, and pancreas is located just below the stomach. So the ducts of various glands. Now which are these various glands? Glands like liver, salivary glands and pancreas. So ducts are pipes. Basically glands are secreting digestive juices, and these juices are poured into alimentary canal through their pipes or ducts. The ducts of various glands open into alimentary canal and pour their secretions, that means their digestive juices, into the alimentary canal to facilitate the process of digestion. Now next is digestion in mouth, and this we will be taking in our next lecture. So let me give you a quick recap what we have studied today. First of all, we did that why food is required. Food is required to obtain energy and to obtain materials for growth and to repair the damaged body parts. Now components of food include carbohydrate, proteins, fats, vitamins and minerals, and these are called nutrients. Mode of nutrition can be autotrophic and heterotrophic. Animal nutrition is taking food by digesting it, absorbing and utilizing by the body. Digestion in humans consists of 5-step: ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation and egestion. Human digestive system consists of alimentary canal and digestive glands. This was the view of the human digestive system, and the various organs in the alimentary canals are mouth, buccal cavity, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, rectum and anus. And the glands which are associated with human digestive system are salivary glands, which secrete saliva, liver, which secrete bile juice, and pancreas, which secrete pancreatic juices. And these ducts, what do? They pour their secretions to the alimentary canal through their ducts. So this was for today's class, and the next topic, that is digestion in mouth, we will be conducting or we will be taking in next class. Thank you so much for your patient listening.